BSPN here. We got guest star Coach Jonathan Morris here to go over and break down last weekend's games. So we'll jump right into it, discussing the scores from last week. We're going to start out with the Blitzburg Steelers against notorious BEN, the big upset of the undefeated giant Brett Beeler. As far as the game went, RG3, big week.
Big week, he's back.
Rest of the team was pretty quiet. Panthers D was big. Michael dropped him for whatever reason, so I picked him up. Cagmus dropped him.
Interesting.
So I picked him up, and they got 14 for me. Basically, outside of the Broncos, no one really showed up for Brett.
Yeah, Brett, you thought Jordy Nelson was going to have a big week, didn't you, with all those Packers players out? Well, he didn't. So, just let you know. AP on Monday night, it would have been nice if he could have had more than 4 points.
Yeah, you got screwed there with Josh Freeman being started. Dude's just a scrub. I don't really know what the coaches were thinking there. So, big upset between Brett and Ben. Moving over to the Dick Trophy game. Jacob and Brad, which was really maybe combined the highest score game of the week.
And Brad's running backs went off. They had 11 points, all three of them. So that was big.
Yeah, Trent Richardson 1, Michael Cox 2.
Mendenhall 8. It's a solid.
Yeah. Rivers didn't even have a good game. 15 points is, I believe, his season low. Let's look at that. No, he had 13 the week before, but before that they had 20, 29, 31, 22. Inconsistent play by Phillip Rivers cost you there.
That's a tough one, but I'm happy for Jacob getting that first win.
Look at Jacob's wide receivers. 23, 24, and 12.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
That's
Tom Brady got him 7 points.
Yeah, Tom Brady's pretty bad.
It's awful. I don't know. Well, we do know what happened. He lost all his receivers, but it's pretty rough. And Brad also made some costly coaching decisions. He decided to play Antonio Gates instead of playing Gronkowski. He decided to play well, I guess it wouldn't have really mattered with Cam Newton since he only had 14 points. But the Gronkowski decision hurt him, and then he also chose to pick up Michael Cox instead of Peyton Hillis. He debated on which one he was going to pick up. He went with Michael Cox. Only got him 2 points. Peyton Hillis had a 14-point game. Would have won Bradley the game. Jacob moves to 1-6, still last in the league overall.
Hillis was on the Madden cover. You got to think about those things.
Yeah. JMO's input. So then we got prediction made on BSPN that John Gross would lose to Elliott. I was correct. Elliott 98 points. John with a measly 77, getting 2 out of Ben Jarvis Green Ellis and 2 out of Josh Gordon.
Yeah, John. I think Green Ellis's days in Cincy are pretty much over.
No one really on his bench had anything either, though.
Yeah, that's
it's a pretty
true.
weak turnout by his team. Tony Romo 14 points.
His team just doesn't look very good going forward. Cruz, that Giants offense has gone to shit. Marshawn's really your only producer. You're not going to make the playoffs, so that sucks.
And we'll have to see what happens with Elliott Coffin moving to 3-4, fourth in the pussy division, but he's only a game behind both Jeff and Patrick.
Yeah. Foster though, that hurts.
We really know his status.
Very very top heavy. He's on bye this week, so hopefully he'll be back.
They say he'll be back right after that, so we'll see. But big game from Frank Gore, big game from A-Raj, and big game from Vincent Jackson to pull it ahead of Coach Gross. Moving over to Coach Freeman playing Coach Hominy. Patrick's team had 54 points. So that's that. That's what happens when Patrick doesn't have Drew Brees and Jimmy Graham playing. Usually Patrick rides that. That 54 between Jimmy and Drew is typically right around 100 points. Those two are good for about 40.
Yeah, surprising output from Ryan Matthews. He's coming along these last 2 weeks, but I would have thought Eli would have had a better game. Spiller sucks.
Not Ryan Matthews.
Been a bust.
Matthew Stafford.
No, I'm talking about Ryan Matthews on Elliott's team.
Oh.
Or
19 points.
Patrick's team.
No joke.
Yeah, so big output for Ryan, but just no one else really got it going.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler Freeman's team, I mean, had pretty steady output, 29.
Yeah.
4 is bad, but he got hurt, 16, 13, 14.
Everyone came out to play. Would have thought T.Y. would have had a bigger game with that many points out of luck, but
Right. Especially with
Broncos
Well,
D
we'll look for him to go forward with Reggie Wayne out.
Oh yeah, Ty is going to be nice with Reggie out.
I mean, Tyler is at this big point where he's choosing between Luck and Stafford each week. Honestly, Tyler, you need to trade that guy. You need to get him off of your bench because you're going to start going back and forth, and it's going to hurt you. You need to get some value for that quarterback on your bench. I mean, he's kind of going to waste when you could really trade him for a starter. Mm-hmm. So we'll see if he tries to make any trade movement there. As far as Coach Cagmus and Jeff, Coach Cagmus went with starting Jay Cutler, sitting Matt Ryan, hurt him.
Yeah, but you can't predict injuries, and that's what the Redskins do. They're the best team in the NFL, so they're going to go out and hit the quarterback hard every game. Handle the Redskins.
Jambo's a big Skins fan. For those of you in the league who don't know, later on in this segment, he's going to break down Skins players, and he's going to tell us what he thinks about the future and their chances of.
Here's my thing on Cacmus. He got actually just extremely unlucky because Cutler getting hurt was bullshit. The Reggie Wayne getting hurt, and on that pass, the Reggie Wayne got hurt. I mean, they ran play action on 4th and 1, and they had the whole field open, and Reggie catches that 70-yard touchdown pass. That that would at least get him in the game, or it might have won him the game. Yeah. Powell just lost all the carries to Chris Ivory.
Yeah.
You can't predict that stuff, but maybe you start Quiz over Powell. That's my opinion. Yeah,
I think the big question moving forward is going to be when is Steven Jackson better? Because right now Jaquiz has a ton of value. Jaquiz has had 17 and 17 the last 2 games.
Yeah, no Roddy,
honestly,
no Julio.
Honestly surprised that Coach Cagmus did not play Jaquiz. And then Stephen Ridley, another guy that Michael doesn't like to play, had 11 points. He had 22 the week before. He's starting to turn it on. I think the Patriots are starting to realize they've got to use their running back with the passing game that they have.
Yeah.
So
Vinatieri, though. Shout out Vinatieri. 16.
Yeah, 16 points. That's pretty good. Broncos D for Jeff got him -3.
Yeah, that was really surprising. Interesting start. I know you're in Denver now, go Bronx. But I mean that defense is god awful. Yeah. They're really bad. So yeah. But hey, you got the W. So
yeah, big output by Matt Forte.
Russell Wilson, I like that start. Nice.
He likes Russell Wilson.
I like that.
So Jeff moves on to 4 and 3. Coach Cagmus falls to 2 and 5. I think it was a heartbreaker for Coach Cagmus. He was pretty upset about it visually and had some quotes to the media on Sunday saying "fuck this league" and stuff like that. So we'll see where that moves. So that was last week's output. Thank you, Coach Morse, for joining. And we're gonna move on now to look over to how the Week 7 ranking summit went. They had predicted that John would beat Elliott. That's a loss. They predicted that Brett would beat Ben. That's a loss. They predicted that Jeff would beat Michael. That's a win. They predicted Tyler to beat Patrick. That's a win. And they predicted Jacob to beat Brad, which is a win. So they went 3 and 2 this week. Not their typical 83%, but they went 3 and 2. The creators of the summit, John and Brett, had themselves winning, and they both lost. So, rough week for the creators of the summit.
Funny how that works sometimes.
So, moving on to transactions that happened this morning at 4:30 a.m., we had Coach Cagmus pick up Riley Cooper. We had Coach Jake pick up Darius Hayward-Bay, trying to move in on that Reggie Wayne loss. Got Coach Freeman to he dropped Amendola. Yeah. Amendola out on the waivers, fellas.
And he practiced today, so.
Who's moving in on him? We got Coach Freeman picked up Garrett Hartley. Coach Cagmus again picked up Brandon LaFell. Coach Jake again picked up Eagles D. I added Zach Stacy. T's added Peyton Hillis.
You might have wanted to do that 3 days ago. Would have probably been better off.
There's some shots being fired by Coach Morris over here, and then also I added Andrew Quarles, which is the new tight end for the Green Bay Packers. We'll see if they end up doing anything with him. It's a big question, but we'll see. Otherwise, I thought that someone added Chris Ivory. But that's not showing up.
Interesting.
I know someone picked him up. I think it was Coach Freeman.
It's a good pickup.
Well, let's do a little research here.
Okay, there we go. Live behind the scenes.
And Coach Freeman picked him up. Coach Freeman 5-2. While I was 5-2 as well, I have actually. We're both 5-2, so I don't know. And he scored more than me, so I don't really know how he got the pick over me, because I had him number 1 on my waivers. That's a little questionable. Going on standings now, we've got Coach Bila at 6-1 in the Beast Division, followed by Coach Freeman at 5-2, Coach Gross at 4-3, and then you have the Big Flop at 2-5, and the Gym Rats at 1-6. Over in the Pussy Division, we got me at 5-2. Tie in second place between Rainbow Nation and Talley's Friend at 4-3, and then you have OG Swizz 1 game behind those two at 3-4, and then Coach Turnus at the bottom at 1-6. As far as scoring goes, I'm the 3rd highest scorer in our division alone. Coach Harmony, Concannon, and Elliott Coach Harmony and Coach Concannon have both scored more than me. The thing is, they've had 100 more points scored against them. So I've been pretty fortunate.
Yeah, you got a great defense.
Yeah. I do. I'm D coordinator, baby. 5-2. Had some really fortunate games. For instance, the big matchup on Monday night was that Coach Beeler only needed 8 points out of Adrian Peterson. I was praying for a miracle. It ended up happening. Coach Peterson only got him 4 points, and I beat Coach Beeler. So some things like that have happened this year to give me wins. Coach Beeler's also has 862 points scored, top of the league. 240 points scored, more than me. I'm riding a 3-game winning streak. Then you've got John Gross in second place with 712 points scored. You've got Jeff right behind him at 711. And then you got Coach Freeman at 699. Second place, 5-2, right behind Beeler. And then you've got Coach Gross underneath. It's kind of weird that he's 4-3. Coach Gross has the least amount of points scored against him besides me. But he has the second most points scored in the league. Yet he's 4-3. That's weird. I don't know how that's happened.
Yeah, it's John counting.
Yeah. Huh. So what we're going to do here real quick is a little new segment that we're going to do where we're going to highlight teams, players for fantasy football. Since we have Coach Morris here, obviously we're going to cover the Washington Redskins so he can let us know what he thinks about the players. Picked up was Roy Halou by Coach Gross, and then Jacob picked up Jordan Reed, who's the big hot commodity at tight end. So, J-Mo, break it down. What do you think about RG3 moving forward?
I think he's getting better and better every week. Last week he started to run the ball a lot more. They ran the read option a lot more than usual. He looks healthy. He looks like he's starting to come into form. Look for a big week this week against Denver. Their defense sucks, and it's going to be a shootout. And so I'm expecting a big week out of him.
And as far as Alfred Morris?
He's steady as a rock, but I would be a little worried with Roy Halou stealing carries, especially on that goal line. And so, that hurts. He's still racking up, solid yards every week, but if he's not putting it in the end zone, he's just another average back. He's not that elite back. Garcon, he's tough because he does get most of the offense work through him. None of the other receivers, Moss or Hankerson or Robinson, none of them are really that big of an effect, but RG3 will spread it around to one of them. One of them will have a solid week, and then Garcon's kind of always sitting there. But I would think this week against the Broncos that he should be able to tear it up. at least double digits for sure.
What do you think Jordan Reed's
Jordan Reed is he's the shit.
impact on Pierre Garçon?
Yeah, I think it's a major impact.
I was pretty
RG3's
pissed about that.
been kind of leaning on Reed. Fred Davis is out. They're already looking to trade him, and so Jordan Reed's the guy, and especially last week he made that clear. But yeah, I mean definitely in the offense right now, Shanahan's running a lot of play action, and hitting Reed across the middle is big. So I think that Reed and RG3 are huge going forward. Alfred Morris and Halou are going to try and I think cancel each other out, but Halou's not a bad flex play this week against Denver. I think he can maybe get in the end zone once and rack up 60, 70 yards if you're looking for a filler.
Sure. Okay, well, that is all the guys that are owned by the Redskins. Thanks to J-Mo for coming on for that. As far as the poll goes, we've got who's the biggest fuck bag in the league between Jacob and John. John is winning 6 votes to 0. Can't say I'm surprised there. Not really an upset.
Yeah, no. Jacob's a great guy. He just had his birthday, so John's definitely the candidate for being a fuck bag.
Sure, Coach.
Fuck
couple more notes.
Fuck Eric Martin.
Coach Teasy went off on the write-up this week.
I take that back. Eric Martin's a good guy.
Yeah, he is. Coach Teasy went off. Another side note is as far as the settings of the league go with trades, I believe, there's no trade deadline. And so I wanted to hear your guys' opinion on that because I've been talking to a couple of people who say that trade deadlines are something good to have inside of the league because it makes people actually do something. We've had a bunch of trade talks, literally a ton of trade talks this year, and nothing's happened. We're ready to hear some things actually go down, and people are afraid to do it. And if you put a deadline on it, people are like, it's either you go after the guy you want or you don't. So I'm looking to see that. I haven't this season. There's been really no trades going on. There's been a lot of talk, and that's about it. So interested to see what you guys say about that. Let's jump into the group me after you listen to this, and let's see what you guys think about the trade deadline. I'm interested to see what you guys say. We'll have another guest on Friday. We're going to leave it a surprise. We've got the Rankin Summit's coming out tomorrow. We'll cover that. We'll cover the Thursday night game. Thursday night is Carolina playing Tampa Bay. So those of you who have games hinging on that game, me and Coach Turnus are playing each other, and that game will be pretty big for both of us. As he has Cam Newton, I have the Carolina Panthers D and Greg Olsen. So hopefully we'll find out a lot about our game coming up, that game. And then we'll cover the weekend matchups. So Patrick Harmony just drove by in his landscaping car. So that's all we got this segment. Coach Morris, you got anything you want to say to us?
No. I think you're all fuckbags.
Thinks we're all fuckbags. All right. Well, that's all from Coach Morris. Fellas, have a great week. Kill it in school. Let's get out of here to the Bama weekend. Hope to see you all at the mansion on Saturday.
Nigga, I ain't worried about nothing. Nigga, I ain't worried